This is Tomonews for Monday, July 3rd.
Horrifying video shows a woman's fiery death on what should have been the happiest day of her life.
Due to YouTube's guidelines on showing graphic content, we can't show you the video. Visit the Tomonews website for the actual video.
Released dashcam footage shows the tragic last moments of a Brazilian woman's life. Making the already harrowing footage of this helicopter crash even worse, she was on her way to her wedding. Bride-to-be Rosemary da Silva boarded the helicopter as a surprise for her future husband. In a nearly 9-minute-long video released by Brazilian news outlet G1 Oficial, the beautiful woman looks happy and excited to surprise her groom. Everything is fine until an alarm goes off and the helicopter begins to shake. Everyone on the chopper can be heard screaming in panic. The helicopter spins completely out of control, then crashes to the ground. No one survived. When informed of what had happened, the groom went into shock. Local authorities, together with aeronautics specialists, have been investigating possible causes for the crash. Officials believe the helicopter may have hit a tree during poor visibility due to rain, fog, and cloud cover. According to organizers, Rosemary's dream wedding plans included a dramatic entrance by helicopter, arriving from the sky for her vows as a surprise for guests and groom.
4 injured in bizarre shooting at a Manhattan wedding reception. A woman who attended a wedding at a fancy hotel in New York City left the reception with a unique wedding favor Saturday night. Wedding guests inside the Waldorf Astoria in Manhattan got more than they bargained for when one man's pistol accidentally went off inside his pocket around 7:30 p.m. Police say a bullet from the gun ricocheted off the marble floor. 3 wedding guests were treated for minor injuries from the debris. The bullet then grazed the side of a woman's head. She remained conscious but was taken to the hospital. According to local reports, the man handed the pistol off to his older brother after the incident. The New York Post reported on Sunday both men are facing charges for the accidental shooting. Investigators on Saturday night taped off the 5-star hotel, which has accommodated 8 decades of U.S. presidents.
Young boy decapitated in waterslide accident. A Kansas water park has reopened mere days after a 10-year-old boy was decapitated while riding the world's tallest water slide. A number of bystanders witnessed the bloody incident and say the horrific scene was one they will never forget. Caleb Schwab, the son of a Kansas lawmaker, was in the front seat of a 3-passenger raft with only a Velcro strap securing him during the Varouk's 168-foot vertical drop. The strap reportedly came off during the ride, ejecting the boy from the raft. He likely bounced around the netting and the slide and was gruesomely decapitated as a result. As the raft he'd been riding in slid to the bottom of the slide, it was followed by a river of blood and Schwab's lifeless body. The Varouk has long been problematic, with rafts reportedly flying off the slide during early test runs. But surprisingly, the ride passed a safety inspection from an insurance company just 2 months ago, despite numerous complaints from riders that the straps were flimsy and often came loose. The Varouk ride has been closed for the rest of the season. But it's infuriating that the Schlitterbahn water park remains open, despite apparent gross negligence regarding guest safety. Kansas boy suffered fatal neck injury in waterslide accident. More details have emerged about how a 10-year-old boy was killed Sunday on the Varouk waterslide at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City. Caleb Thomas Schwab died in a freak accident while riding the 168 feet tall waterslide. Caleb was reportedly riding in the slide with 2 women. He was sitting in the first position, with the 2 women in the second and third positions. It appears that Caleb must have somehow gotten loose from his harness and was ejected from his seat. One witness speculated that Caleb must have bounced around between the netting and the slide and just slid down. Police confirmed on Monday in a statement that Caleb died from a fatal neck injury. Witness Esteban Castaneda told New York's WABC News he noticed the boy appeared to have been decapitated, although no other reports have confirmed this. One of the women suffered a broken jaw, and the other a broken bone in her face. She also required stitches to one of her eyes. The water park is tentatively scheduled to reopen on Wednesday, although the Varouk will remain closed. What kind of a schmuck steals from an old lady? Shocking surveillance footage has been released by London police, showing an elderly woman being violently mugged in broad daylight.
Surveillance footage has been released by London police, showing an elderly woman being violently mugged in broad daylight. Around 2:40 p.m. on June 27th, a 92-year-old woman was walking to an East London medical center when a hooded man crept up behind her and grabbed her purse. She hung onto her bag, but was yanked to the ground and dragged for several feet until she let go. The woman sustained severe bruising on her ribs, left arm, and side. The suspect fled the scene with the woman's bag, which contained her mobile phone, £100 in cash, her freedom pass, and some documents. Authorities are looking for any witnesses who may have seen the assailant, who was described as a black man with short black hair.
Dogs in Jordanian city hacked by knife-wielding sickos. The search for some sick puppies in the Middle East is on after a couple of innocent street dogs have been found scared, bleeding, and with body parts missing. On June 30th, Animal Action posted photos to Facebook of a dog named Lucy from Mafraq. The organization believes Lucy must have been targeted by a pretty disturbed group of people. Based on her injuries, it's most likely several deranged thugs were involved, as she would have to have been held down. When Animal Action members found Lucy, she was extremely scared, bruised, and without a tail. They brought her in to receive treatment, and she's since been operated on to have the infected skin and flesh removed. Due to the extreme pain, she's been having trouble going to the bathroom and continues to be afraid of people, naturally. Another dog, Hallie, was also found this past week with her front leg cut off, which Animal Action members say was a clean cut. There are no known suspects at this time.
Be careful with fireworks. A teen from Washington is hoping the devastating experience of losing 4 fingers to fireworks play gone wrong will help remind folks out there just how dangerous the explosives can be. 17-year-old Lakewood resident Curtis Musowich and his friend found a mortar and shell firework at their workplace last month. The young man thought the fuse would be long enough for him to light it and throw it before it went off, but Musowich was wrong. He lit the device, and before he could throw the explosive somewhere safe, the firework blew up in his left hand. After the explosion, the stunned Musowich said he looked at his friend, then down at the hand that had been holding the explosive. It was then that he realized that half of his hand was completely obliterated, with the remaining raw stump pouring blood as jagged bones stuck out. The teen was rushed to Harborview Medical Center for treatment. According to the doctor who treated him, young males, surprise, surprise, are the most common victims of fireworks-related injuries. And the doctor noted that shell and mortar fireworks are pretty much the most dangerous ones around. With the 4th of July holiday now in full swing, Musowich says his tale should serve as a pretty clear warning to be wary of the sparkly explosives. No passports for pedophiles. Aussie sex fiends may soon find themselves landlocked as the government mounts a major crackdown on child sex tourism. Australia is planning on passing a law to deny or revoke the passports of up to 20,000 registered child sex offenders to stop them from victimizing children in poorer nations. Of the 800 offenders who traveled overseas in 2016, roughly half went to Southeast Asia and did not report travel plans as they were required to. Traveling to this region is relatively inexpensive, and Australian pedophiles have been known to hit up certain destinations for child rape holidays. The new law will apply as long as an offender is on the register. Currently, 3,200 individuals are on the list permanently, and thus banned from travel for life. The ban is mandatory, but temporary passports may be granted to those with valid travel reasons who do not pose a risk to kids abroad. Australia has been trying to stem the flow of child sex tourists from the country. Citizens and residents who are found guilty of molesting children overseas can now be jailed for up to 25 years.
Puppy abandoned in airport bathroom by abused owner. Tomo sapiens, grab a box of tissues while you still can. This 3-month-old puppy was found alone in a Las Vegas airport bathroom, accompanied by this note. The letter tells a sad tale of an owner trying to escape an abusive relationship, left with no choice but to leave behind Chewy, her miniature chihuahua. The handwritten note details that the owner was involved in some sort of domestic dispute with her boyfriend. In the heat of the moment, little Chewy got caught in the middle and allegedly received a kick to the head from the enraged boyfriend. Running for her life, the owner rushed to McCarran Airport with Chewy in hand. She claims she couldn't afford the cost of getting the pup on the flight and instead left Chewy in the airport bathroom, hoping a compassionate soul out there would find him and get the bump on his head checked out. Chewy's sad story was posted to Twitter on July 3rd. A local dog rescue has since taken him in and reports dozens of kind people have already stepped up and applied to give Chewie a new home. Looks like the little guy's gonna be alright. Here's hoping his mom got the help she needed too.
Say no. This is how Russia's robot spacecraft delivers supplies to the ISS. This Russian spacecraft may look like your run-of-the-mill satellite, but it actually plays a critical role in delivering supplies to the International Space Station. Russia's Progress spacecraft is loaded onto a Soyuz rocket and launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. After detaching the rocket, the spacecraft flies on an automated 2-day route toward the International Space Station. Progress then docks with the ISS, where food and scientific equipment are unloaded. After the robot resupply ship has fulfilled its mission, it will be deorbited and is then expected to sink somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. The spacecraft is said to remain docked with the ISS until December this year. The fish are changing. A British toxicologist has found that chemicals seeping into the water supply is feminizing the fish population. A fifth of male river fish in the UK have reportedly turned intersex or transgender and are now displaying both male and female characteristics. The mutations are caused by chemicals from contraceptive pills, cleaning products, plastics, and cosmetics that make it to the water system after being flushed down. 20% of male fish tested in 50 sites displayed less competitive mating behavior and reduced sperm quality, with some even producing eggs. Offspring of these transgender fish may also be more sensitive to the effects of chemicals in subsequent exposures. The research by University of Exeter Professor Charles Tyler served as the opening lecture at a fisheries symposium in the British Isles. Fish biologists from around the world are gathering at the symposium to talk about other threats to the fish population and how to address them.